technical presentation.
Hi, I'm Mark Cerny. I'm excited to be here to talk about the newest addition to our console lineup, PlayStation 5 Pro, and how it advances gaming technology. Creators have made amazing use of the hardware capabilities, but when I talk to them, I do hear about their desire for more graphics performance. The dreams of the developers are bigger than can be supported at 60 frames per second, and that leads to an aspect of modern gaming that we're all familiar with: graphics modes. It can be a difficult choice for players. Fidelity modes emphasize the visuals, typically through higher resolution rendering. These modes might also have enhanced detail or use more ray tracing.
I don't think I ever picked that mode. I always go with performance because I'd rather have a higher frame rate than I would like
choppier,
anything that they add visually.
Performance modes emphasize frame rate and interactivity, typically choosing to run 60 frames per second. Mainly by reducing the graphical detail.
Oh my god, it deleted a whole enemy, what the fuck?
Frame rates can be achieved.
See, that doesn't even really seem like if I'm playing, it doesn't really...
When asked to decide on a mode, players are choosing performance about 3/4 of the time. Removing that decision, or at least narrowing that divide, is one of the key targets for PlayStation 5 Pro. We want to give players the graphics that the game creators aspire to, at the high frame rates that players typically prefer. To do that, PS5 Pro substantially improves over PlayStation 5 in 3 ways. Here's what we call the Big 3. First, we made the GPU much larger and increased the speed of the memory it uses.
Whoa,
the result is rendering that's up to 45% faster.
RAM? Whoa.
Second, we made major upgrades to the ray tracing,
Big time.
taking a streamlined and accelerated approach that allows calculation of the rays at double or even triple the speeds of PlayStation 5. And finally, we added custom hardware for machine learning and an AI library called PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, or PSSR for short.
What the
PSSR analyzes the game images pixel by pixel and can add an extraordinary amount of detail, which boosts the effective resolution of the games. So look at PS5 Pro versus Performance mode on PS5, both of which target 60 frames per second. What we see here is a difference in detail. PS5 Pro is much sharper and crisper than PS5.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can kind of see it a little, you know, around the signage, you know, it's a little sharper, not worth 700 at all. Yeah, I mean, I can see where you're coming from there.
$700?
Yeah.
For this, my favorite is the parade scene from Ratchet & Clank. Distant details are much clearer.
It almost looks like they put like a fucking blur over it. Who's to say they didn't just put this shit into Adobe Premiere and just fucking slap a fucking blur over the fucking thing and they like, you know, like, this is it. I mean, I don't think my shit looks this fucking blurry when I'm playing. I don't feel like I'm seeing this much fucking blur. I don't know.
And here we can see Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is noticeably higher resolution throughout the scene.
Hey, this one's kind of hard. This one's kind of tough to spot the difference. Because I mean, hold on, look at this, hold on. Hold on. I see their example and I raise them this. Here's their blurred one. Boom. What do we think? $700? $700? Maybe, I mean, shit, even, you can even do it again if you really want. You want it to be sharper? Like,
sharpen.
It's as easy as that, people. That's as easy as that. There's a sharpness feature on your monitor. You can do this yourself at home. Now what do you think? PS5 performance, PS5 Pro, me slapping 2 small sharpen filters on Adobe Photoshop. I mean, I pretty much almost got the tree to look the same. AI upscaling, who needs it? I can fucking do this shit myself. I like, you know, monitor settings or fucking TV settings. You definitely have a sharpen slider. Turn that shit up. Boom. There you go. Can't really do anything about the frame rate though. I think that might not be.
So overall, some remarkable improvement to the games. On PS5 Pro, we can see increased sharpness to the graphics or smoother and more responsive gameplay. This is the big 3 showing their value. As you've been seeing, machine learning via the PSSR library is being used quite broadly to add pixel detail and boost frame rate. But there are as many approaches as there are game engines. The increase in raw GPU power is being especially effective for Horizon Forbidden West. Apart from the detail boost, that extra graphics power is allowing for improvements to lighting and visual effects,
I feel like this game also
as well
already
as to
looks
the
really
hair
good, so
and the
I
skin
mean,
in cinematics.
probably pretty hard to tell other than the frame rate.
Enough for me.
Ray tracing is finding broad usage as well, particularly
I feel
when
like the real sense of like power here is what it does to stuff that like doesn't necessarily already look good. I think it's easy to like be like, you know, Last of Us 2, a game that like when it came out still was kind of head and shoulders like better looking than a lot of stuff. Like, yeah, you stick that on there, guess what? It's gonna look good. What? No way. It looks good. Like, the sharpened fucking tree in the background, crazy. But like, what would this do if, say, I downloaded Infamous 1 on the PS3 through the backwards compatibility catalog? Would the advanced AI upscaler, would it do anything to like older games, to like retro games? Because I mean that could be, I'd imagine, a selling point, you know, maybe. I feel like these are just like kind of bad examples.
They're focused on higher
They're
frame
already
rates.
really
the
good
faster
looking
hardware in
games.
PS5 Pro can make a real difference, allowing Gran Turismo 7 to add ray-traced reflections between the cars in gameplay, while continuing to support their targeted 60 frames per second. That boost in ray tracing is also delivering big wins for Hogwarts Legacy.
Whoa.
Allowing not only for better reflections and a greater variety of reflective surfaces, but also for further realism in the casting of shadows. I hope you've enjoyed this run-through of the technology behind PlayStation 5 Pro. Simply put, it's the most powerful console we've ever built, and a worthy addition to the PS5 family.
Until the next one. Until the PS5 Pro Slim
running on the new console.
Damn, man, all that, and you don't even get the vertical stand sold separately.
That's so funny.
They didn't even have the courtesy to fucking include the stand. I mean, the fucking, like, graphical fucking fidelity of a leaf in the background of The Last of Us 2, an already AAA title that looks, again, head and shoulders above fucking a lot of other games, is not gonna fucking be worth it for me. But if it's, like, a retro game, looks really well, but I know there's emulation that can make it already look really well. But there's a difference, I think, between like sitting here at my computer emulating versus like I just want to play like an older game, like an old Infamous game while I'm laying down or something like that, and this makes it look better. I mean, I don't know, that might be a selling point, but they didn't even fucking touch on any of that. I don't know, they didn't touch on any of that. Or even if it's a fucking, like I said, even if it's a early gen PS4 game, would it look any better? Like Second Son, yeah, Infamous Second Son literally was pretty much a fucking tech demo test for the PS4. Does this tap into anything for it? Maybe with the AI upscaling? I don't know. Do these upgrades require the devs to update the game? I think if it's like one of those PlayStation 5 Pro supported things, like the list that they show, like these I think do need the devs to push something out, I'm pretty sure. So like dedicated 8K mode, fucking, you know, overall detail boost, just in quotes. Oh no, Demon Souls, nothing specific. They know it's gonna have an enhancement, but there's no specific enhancement. Keep an eye out for more info. So I guess maybe they'll just come out with more info as it happens. I don't know. Demon Souls, something cool, we don't know. I don't know what we're putting in this shit. I mean, again, already very good looking game. Demon Souls still looks better than, God, I'd argue Demon Souls looks better than even some of the like the more recent like Souls-likes and stuff like that. Like Demon Souls looks so fucking good. I couldn't imagine like what does it need in terms of some kind of boost that would like propel it forward to the degree that I would be like, all right, $700. All right. The only thing off the top of my head that I can think of is something that's beginning of generation, beginning of like PS4, and it gets a boost from this console without having to do anything fancy. If it's all cooked into it, that would be cool. Infamous 1 upscaled would have been a really good selling point. I mean, even if it was like Second Son, again, like if you think of like what was PlayStation 4 launch games, like stuff that came out right at the, oh god. Oh god, okay. You know what, looking at this list, maybe not so much actually. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 5 maybe could get a boost again for the 18th fucking time. Yeah, Second Son. Yeah, Second Son is the best example I think that we could pull. I think these guys are ready. Hello, good morning.
Yes.
Finally.
Hey, what's up, late guy?
Listen, man, you didn't hear about the new Epic PlayStation?
I heard about it, man. I just don't care.